The tides are shifting, headwinds are turning to tailwinds, and the opportunity for those of us who believe in the future of XRP is enormous. That is the direct quote from Brad Garlinghouse, folks. Brad Garlinghouse is going off. He has been fully activated. He's fully bullish, and there's a reason why. He put out that prediction for a $5 trillion market cap for the overall cryptocurrency space by the end of this year. I think that Brad knew what was coming. And boy, am I glad to be on this XRP train, folks. Let's get right on into this update. You are not going to want to miss this one. Now, to get started here, folks, I want to show you here what we're talking about. If you needed even clearer evidence that the crypto voter is alive and well, here it is in the data. I hope the Dems find a way to hold Gary Gensler accountable for ignoring the law. Brad Garlinghouse is responding here to the senator race in Massachusetts with John Deaton and Elizabeth Warren. In the Senate race here, Warren wins by 19.2% against Deaton. But in the presidential race in Massachusetts, Harris wins by 24.8%, meaning that Deaton outperformed Trump by 4%, so over 100,000 non-Trump voters cast their ballots for Deaton. And so I did give credit to Deaton for what he did. I said that it might hurt him now because he didn't do, an endorsement with Trump. We didn't do a deal with Trump. Now, if Deaton, I think that he'd do really good in the Trump administration, right? I love John Deaton and what he's done, and his campaign was so on point. There's a reason why he got such a great turnout, and it goes to show how important this crypto issue was. I think that we're reporting now over 250 members elected to Congress that are pro-cryptocurrency. And in some of these elections, we were talking about it, they had both sides, Republican, Democrat, were both pro-crypto. So on some of these races, it didn't matter which way it went, they were going to be pro-crypto, which brings us back to John Deaton's platform of pro-freedom. So I still hope that Deaton can, continue running for something else. I heard some rumors about maybe running for governor out there in Massachusetts. Deaton is not done, and a huge shout out, great campaign. It's just he was deep in that Democrat territory up there in Massachusetts. But goes to show, like Brad says, how important this crypto vote is. It's so, it's being exposed at a level here where we have a former SEC lawyer, SEC Office of Internet Enforcement, John Reed Stark, who is a staunch SEC supporter, has the class to say, quote, "The people have spoken. Gensler and his anti-crypto minions should voluntarily stand down, or as John explains, the SEC's new chair, when appointed, will use the agency's internal mechanisms to remove them. Either way, it's over. It is over. This case is done between Ripple and the SEC. It is over, guys. This thing's done. We are just now waiting for a settlement to be announced, and we got confirmation from multiple lawyers on this. Not only did you just read what Stu said, this is done. I'm going to show you Fred Rispoli and Jeremy Hogan. Huge shout out to all of our XRP lawyers that have kept us in the fight here this whole time. This is from Fred Rispoli. Good friend Fred. Always love him. He says, "We know Trump is aware of the case from the X post by Stuart Alderati. We know that Ripple, met with Trump this summer in San Francisco, per Stu." Huge shout out to Stu for that update. That's a good data point. And it was the title of yesterday's video talking about how I think XRP is part of a strategic operation to maintain the U.S. reserve currency status. "We know there are about to be extreme changes at the SEC, but probably not in effect until March or April. While I think it's unrealistic to expect the case to be flat out dismissed, this goes for already filed cases, I should say. We can finally talk about settlement." There's that word. There's the one that we've been waiting for. I thought this thing, and many of us thought this thing was about to be settled up in 2021, right? Just a few months into the case, we thought there's no way this is going to go the distance. None of us thought that we were going to be here in 2024 still waiting on this case, and now going into 2025. We can finally talk about settlement being a very realistic possibility, and there are two scenarios I'm thinking. One, the current SEC regime realizes that where the Ripple case stands right now, institutional sales being illegal with a $125 million fine, is the best it is going to get and still hurt crypto industry, so get in before the new leadership hammer drops. Basically saying, hey, we can settle up this, and the SEC still has the ability to go after others. Two, New SEC regime in spring of 25 recognizes this whole case was idiotic and settles at that point for less than the SEC has now. This might include a reduction in the fine and an agreement that current sales of XRP by Ripple are sufficiently structured to not be investment contracts. But the bottom line, I no longer think we'll be waiting until 2026 for this crap show to be over. Go XRP. As I said, set XRP free, which as a matter of law, XRP already is free. It's just a matter now of how Ripple can sell XRP going forward. That's the question. We believe that Ripple, along with their lawyers, has already restructured their contracts in a way that makes them not investment contracts. So we already believe that Ripple's completely in the clear. And so now, but Fred, it brings up an interesting point. If we do see Hester Pierce get elected or Mark Uyeda, somebody else, one of these other commissioners gets appointed as the chairman, and we start to see a shift dramatically in the spring of 2025, maybe Gensler steps down before Trump even gets in office, which I think is very likely, then we might just see the SEC say, hey, yeah, we even got this from the judge, but we this wasn't necessarily clear, right? And so in the second example that Fred's talking about right there, he's talking about less than the fine of $125 million. Basically, the SEC saying, hey, we'll settle up for even less at this point, because maybe Ripple can stick it to him and say, hey, look what Ripple has plenty to negotiate on. In fact, I kind of wish that Ripple would take it the distance now that we're going to have a shift, new president, new Congress, and a complete shift with the bureaucrats. I mean, Trump just put out a clip earlier today, a little 3-minute video talking about basically the hammer of justice is coming, and he's going to enact the executive order that he signed in his first term where he can fire any bureaucrat that's gone rogue. Well, we got a list of them. We got a red folder with some names that we could talk about in there. You betcha. Sounds like a good time to me. Jeremy Hogan concurs on the same point, responding to John Reed Stark. And guys, once again, I have to reiterate, if it's so bad that a former SEC enforcement director gets it, right, that basically the SEC's time is up. John Reed Stark, he loves seeing the SEC go after all these crypto firms. I've listened to him in many of these spaces. He gets off on correcting the crypto bros. And even myself, I've said, many crypto projects have broken the law. They're in trouble. They don't have the sets of facts and circumstances like Ripple and XRP does. But Jeremy Hogan says Gensler's going to step down. And it looks like he's summarizing what John Reed Stark said. John Reed Stark is saying that Gensler's going to step down before Trump comes in on January 20th. The new head or interim head sends out marching orders that all non-fraud crypto cases need to be disposed of. The litigation team looks at each case and recommends to either settle or dismiss each and brings their recommendations to the commissioners who then vote yay or nay. There will now be 3 Republican appointed, so it will be yay. My thoughts on specific actions: the Ripple case or any case with a ruling will be settled for the judgment amount of $125 million. It would be awkward to settle for less than what was already awarded by a court, but as Fred had just pointed out, and as we know, right, maybe the SEC is going to feel guilty. I mean, a bureaucrat, government agent feeling guilty. I don't know if they have a conscience, some of these guys, but maybe they do, and they choose to settle up for less. But like Jeremy says, this is probably going to get settled up and wrapped up. The Coinbase and other cases in litigation will simply be dismissed. This will take some time, not January, but perhaps before summer. That's my call, and I'm sticking to it. So either way, Ripple's in the clear. This is over. Guys, this is done. It's either $125 million, and we know that Ripple has that check. That is nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but relatively speaking, Ripple can cut that no problem. We're in the clear. It's game on. XRP has been set free. No more excuses. Let it fly. Let it breathe. This is our time. And I'm going to show you this next post. Clearly, I don't think that we're bullish enough. You guys listening to my voice right now, we are not bullish enough. After I read you this tweet from Brad Garlinghouse, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It is game on. I've shared some thoughts on what the Trump administration could mean for crypto and wanted to also recognize the XRP family's patience and unwavering support. A lot has happened since XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. Here we go. Brad reminding us once again that yes, XRP did take that 2 spot for a brief moment in time. Never forget. A lot has happened since XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. Never forget it. It's been at times a frustrating journey. 6 years since the SEC started meddling in the crypto market, picking winners and losers. 4 years since the SEC sued Ripple. And we know that that's 6 years since the SEC started meddling, picking winners and losers. We know. That's back to the Hinman speech in 2018. That's the timeline. 6 years ago, that's the timeline. The damages are massive. Hinman, well, I hope he got on a flight out of this country with the rest of Hollywood and the Diddy party and all these other corrupt folks, because we're coming and we caught you all. And the damages are massive. All we wanted was a level playing field. And now, finally, we see a light at the end of a tunnel as these external, frankly, unnatural and manipulative market factors fade. The manipulation is real. This is not a natural free market with XRP in the broader crypto market. But the tides are shifting. Headwinds are turning to tailwinds, and the opportunity for those of us who believe in the future for XRP is enormous. Are we bullish enough? Are you kidding me, folks? Brad Garlinghouse has been fully activated. Ripple, in their strategic role, helping the United States maintain the reserve currency status through RLUSD. XRP, a world reserve currency that can serve as a neutral bridge currency for any form of value, levels the playing field, creates the internet of value. Seamless, interoperable, 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost. It's done. It's over. This case is over. XRP will be set free. This is our time. Imagine not being bullish on XRP when we're seeing what Brad Garlinghouse is putting out. Why do you think that he was so confident as to predict a $5 trillion market cap for crypto by the end of this year? Because it's all going to go to Bitcoin? Why does he keep reminding us that XRP took the 2 spot from Ethereum? Why in the Trump to-do list did he ask Trump to provide some clarity on Ethereum? Is it because he really wants clarity for Ethereum? It's all about to get exposed. And you know what I've been saying, let all truth be revealed. All we wanted was life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. God help us bring it back to America, bring it back to this planet. If you guys appreciate what we're doing, you know what to do. Send it out far and wide, and may God bless you all. I'll see you in the next one. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.